بكم من جديد مع برنامجكم الأسبوعي برنامج رؤيتي. كما عودناكم في كل أسبوع نستضيف لكم خيرة من دولة الإمارات قصة نجاح أتتنا من الهند إلى الإمارات منذ 17 عاما. Mr. Mohamed Ibrahim, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
We are so lucky to be here with you in your company. Our team said you will come in our program and we would like to know about yourself. Who's Mr. Mohamed, when he came to this country at the first time and what he's doing at this moment.
Thank you for the opportunity given to me to be a part of your show. I was into this country in the year 2003 looking for an opportunity to see how I can explore my work style and to see where my talent can take me ahead.
Yeah.
When I came into this country in 2003, I realized this country has got a lot of opportunities for people who have the right vision to do things. So I started myself as an executive, counter-executive staff with a company which was based out of London called L.L.C Services. Initially, I was there with them from 2003 to 2005, where I decided that it's time I make a move, because L.L.C was more into outbound tourism.
Yeah.
But then I learned that Dubai as a country, UAE, has got a lot of opportunity for inbound tourism. That is where this country works, and this place was not recognized by many people in the year 2005, because things were actually getting developed in UAE. Dubai was making itself visible to the country, to the world, as a tourist country for people from all parts of the world who could come here and enjoy life, live a good holiday, enjoy the time spent in the country, and they started creating new attractions and activities for people. In 2005, I moved to a smaller company called Emirates Desert Tourism, which was my first business inbound into Dubai. I was taken to head the company and set up the company. From 2005 till 2007, I set up this company called Emirates Desert Tourism for a gentleman named Kais, who was based out of Nigeria. My sponsor, or you could call my investor.
Yes.
Over a period of time, once we learned the business, we wanted to part ways because Mr. Kais decided that he will take the company further, and I was left with no option but to look for another job. From 2007 Feb till 2000 November 7, I was without a job. I did not know where life is heading for me. 2007, life turned around and I joined a company called Dubai Travel and Tourism Services, where I started a new life.
Yeah.
To put in place the opportunity I could get from this country and to do the work what I had come here to do. From 2007 to 2014, I was with Dubai Travel and Tourism as the general manager for the company. Over a period of time, we grew together as a company and as a staff member to the management level where I could actually make decisions on behalf of the management as well. In 2014, we decided to part ways again because I wanted to start my own firm. So from 14 till date, I'm on my own. It's 6 years old into this business, but you could say that I've learned a lot during the 17 years of my life in this country, which has actually taught me the ups and downs in life, where I was working, then I lost a job, then I was again working, then I was without a job for 7 months. But the country did not let my hope go down because I knew this country has got a lot of opportunities for people with the right vision. And when you know where you want to go and if you know how to do things right, you are made for this country.
Let's go back for 17 years back when you come here the first time, 2003. UAE was booming, more than 200 different nationalities. Tell me about your shock or situation. It was surprise, you can manage it, hard, what's happened?
To be honest, it was like, something which I did not expect. Because, for somebody who's coming out of India, we had a different lifestyle in India.
Yeah.
But when I came into UAE, where, Middle East was not even up to what it used to be, and, it was completely new. I was surprised to see the kind of technology and the construction level, the foundation, the designing of this whole place. they were far ahead compared to others, but people did not know them. It was only after they started exposure to the world. Today, if you ask anybody which is the best destination you would like to go on a holiday, it is Dubai. UAE is termed number one destination for most of the travelers. You have activities, attractions, things, you can live life, you have lifestyle, nightlife, freedom of speech, everything. But for me, 2003 was like, I was coming into a different world.
Yes.
Coming in from India, and I came into a different part of the world. I saw the different nationalities here and different mindsets of people. And when you meet people, the different minds and you talk, you start learning. You actually learn a lot of culture from people and how life is taken. Everybody's got a story in this country.
So the knowledge come big, or you get more information from the people, or the life teach you, or you have to research on the internet to know how to contact with this multicultural country?
Well, to be honest, teaching and learning is an individual's thought.
Sure.
It's not that somebody has to teach you, but it all depends. If you are really into knowing people and if you start talking to people, you actually learn different cultures of life. The more you interact with people.
Yeah.
Because being from the tourism industry, we get to interact with different nationalities. We have seen all the nationalities, and especially when we are on the safari and we are in the desert, we meet almost all the nationalities across. And the likes, dislikes, what people want, mindset of people, this actually helps you to grow as a person, and your mind grows more with knowledge of which nationality is looking for what is the mindset of XYZ country, what do they expect from people, how do they look at cleanliness, how do they look at pricing, how they look at lifestyle, how they expected this country to be when they came and how surprised they were. It speaks by themselves. So basically interaction and the media helps you to know more of this country's culture. And of course, Dubai has got a lot of culture. You can read from the history. And I've been to the Dubai Museum where you can actually walk through and you realize how Dubai is developed from where till where.
After 11 years working, so we choose to start our own business. People around advise why you want to stop your work, you have a good salary, but you has a trust in yourself and you know that you can make it. Who pushed you to do this?
Well, let's be very honest, I've always been looking at doing something on my own. I planned this move for almost 3 years. I was not sure initially if I could do it, I don't do it, I do it, I don't do it. There were many friends who told me, you've been working hard, you've been learning the business, probably you can do it. But it took me 3 years, and finally one evening I sat at home with my other half, my wife, and we spoke. And then we decided how long can you continue working, Things can change because we had already seen a recession in 2008 and 9 when the country was, the world was under recession.
It was a crisis that time, or you can call it challenge?
Well, it was a learning. I will not call it a crisis or a challenge. It is a learning for people who have taken life for granted. Anything can happen. Is that when people learned when the 2009 crisis came inside.
Yeah.
So the lesson was big. For me, it was like, tomorrow if this comes back again, maybe I could lose my job, and then I'm sitting without after all the 17 years what I put back, and then you're without a job, again to start from scratch is difficult.
Sure.
So I decided, okay, let me give it a shot. I spoke to my wife and my kids. They said, okay, we are okay. And then I relocated them back to India because I did not know where I was going to head. But God has been kind, I could say. Allah has been very helpful and grateful to me. And in the first year, I started looking at profits. But then we considered our business as an opportunity where we could actually grow, keeping the market trend that, if you provide better quality of service, you're in the business.
So we start the business. Now we are talking about the family of your business, more than 40 different employees. How did we choose these employees?
Well, a few have been with me from my previous company.
Yeah.
They wanted to work with me, so they moved along because they worked with me for 7 years and they knew that, they could work with me for the future because it was very easy to transact and we were very transparent with each other. There was nothing called boss and staff. It was like human to human, the natural feel for people. Today my boys who work for me, I cannot say they work for me, they're a part of my team. We are more like a family. We share almost even the personal things. There's nothing called the boss relationship with the staff. You know, we are more like brothers or family, you could call it.
I see it by myself before the interview starting. When you were sales manager, he came and he said, he's my partner, he's my second hand. So,
Well, I have grown, like, to be honest, when I was working, I saw the culture of people and I could understand how people can adjust to work, but then when you do not have a proper relationship with your staff and the management, things don't work your way. You know, the minute you show confidence on your team, when you give them a free hand, when you teach them that this is your company, take it forward, I can rest, I can take a back step.
Sure.
I travel home 6 times a year. I'm out of this country like for 6 months, but my business runs because I have my family running it for me. And most of them are hand chosen by me. I call them for interviews, I speak. It's basically the body language and the connection. If you connect well from the first time you see somebody, you automatically know that you can get along.
Always in the business, we have to be special. We have to be unique. We have to be number one. Let's talk about the services first that you give, then we'll talk how we can be unique. What the services we are giving.
Okay. Basically, we look ourselves to keep our standard of service on the high side because most of the clients who come to us,
Yes.
we consider every client to be a VIP for us. There's nothing called a separate VIP at all. For me, anybody who walks into me to book any excursion with me is a VIP. So everybody is given a VIP tag.
Yes.
Indirectly, no matter what they pay, what they don't pay. For me, every client is a VIP. We have nothing called VIP services for anybody. We provide same services for everybody, but we make sure that the standard of service is on the best, highest possible level. Cleanliness at the campsite. We have cleaning every 20 minutes of the washrooms. We have people who are there on site to help you. We are gloved, we are hair covered. We make sure our kitchen is clean. We make sure our service area is clean. Especially the washroom area is very important where we maintain hygiene, which is very important because you have like 300 people in the evening at one spot and you make sure that you do not let things go wrong.
And what kind of activity they can make?
We start with actually the dune drive. That's our specialized service. We drive through the Lawab deserts for like a good 30-35 minutes and we stop for sunset for pictures. We give them sandboards where they can enjoy sand ski. Basically, people would have done a lot of skiing across the world on the ice.
Yes.
But here it is different. You have a sandboard and then you experience a proper sand ski. Then you'll drive to my campsite where we have a nice Bedouin setup, the local Arabic style tents. You have camel rides for people who like to enjoy the camel. We have a henna lady who sits there. We have shisha, we have the water soft drink, we have a mini bar actually for people to consume alcohol if required. And then of course we have a 4-course menu with 4 barbecues, 7 main courses, 2 starters, water soft drink, all provided for people with 3 entertainments.
When I talk about
Our
food,
highlight is basically the belly dance and the fire show.
very nice. And for the food, I will ask for catering. How you manage?
Well, we actually choose people for this. We are working with somebody who's probably rated number 1 for the desert catering.
Yes.
I would not want to take the name of the company he used to work with because I don't know if it might go against me. But it's one of the number 1 companies in the country, and this gentleman caters for them.
Yes.
So it's the same caterer who caters for me. So initially, the first thing we looked at is to keep ourselves in the market. The quality of the food has to be special, and it has to be clean and hygienic.
Sure.
Do not drop your level of quality just to pinch on the price. We maintain the service quality as good as the existing number 1 in the country. Probably we might reach there very soon. That's all I can say.
What about Corona? It's changed your ideas, your plan, or?
Well, let's be honest, Corona is something that nobody expected. But then as I told you again, like how the 2009 was a crisis where we learned,
Yeah.
Corona is another learning.
But he changed the way that you deal with the
He's
people.
going to change. No, it's a new normal of life.
Yeah.
Earlier, you cannot say it's a new way. Probably, this should have been the way. Cleanliness and hygiene
Yes.
should have been priority for every common man from before.
Yeah.
Probably which we are learning now. We are washing hands, we are sanitizing ourselves, we are cleaning up. This used to not be there in most of the people before. This is teaching you about life. And people who can sustain during this period, their life is going to be completely different. It's like Corona has taught us many ways, like life cannot be taken for granted in the first place. Things can just go way higher. Your plans can just turn across the table, and there is darkness ahead. But if you have faith and you can keep your hope alive, I think the tunnel is wide open ahead for you to do wonders in life after this.
What about Expo? We have any plan for Expo?
Well, to be honest, we had a lot of groups pre-booked for Expo for 2020, but with this unfortunate situation, what happened, we are expecting them to come back to us. We will be looking at exhibiting ourselves on the counter for our sales for people who visit the Expo. We are actually trying to look at putting up a small kiosk where we can sell our excursions to the tourists visiting the Expo. Plus, we have different nationalities, like for example, we have the Italians, we have the Czech Republicans, we have the Kenyans, we have currently, of course, Israel is coming up, which everybody is looking at. We have groups pre-booked already.
Yes.
If the flights open, we are into big business.
And to be number one, it's not hard, but the hard is to stay on the number one.
Well, to be number one, everybody can climb the ladder fast, but you fall down very fast as well. So it's better to climb the steps slowly, reach on top, and prefer to be there.
So did you reach to your target, or your target did change every time?
No, to be honest, for Dubai for now, we are almost there, but we are looking to expand. Hopefully in the coming 2 months, I'm going to buy something in Abu Dhabi. I'm trying to get a license and a camp in Abu Dhabi to put out our hands further down. We're almost into negotiation. I think probably by next month, I will have Abu Dhabi camp also running for me. I'll have my brand in Abu Dhabi.
Sure.
And the next option, inshallah, will be Oman.
Sure.
Once things change. These are the 3 places where currently sitting in the Middle East, you can do wonders.
So if we didn't deal with the people from out of this country, so we deal with the companies here and they choose us to manage their tour, we will say it, right?
Yes.
So how did this company trust you? Or how did you trust also this company? Because there's a financial way with them, right?
Like financially, the thing is, most of the companies what I work with, I've been in touch with them for almost 12 plus years.
Sure.
From the previous companies where I was working. Basically, the relationship is built on one-to-one. The brand name is not important. It is how good the relationship is between the person and the management. So these people, when I started myself initially, I was not sure. But over a period of time, people started trusting because I was delivering the quality of service what they were expecting. They started with only 10% of the business to me. They did not give me everything. I started very small, like 10% of the volume is what I started with. But today, by God's grace, I take 100% of the business from them. And most of the companies are being chosen companies because they have been in the industry for 10 plus minimum years. My biggest clientele is Sharaf Tours. They work with me and I manage the entire cruise business for off-road for them. We do safaris from Fujairah, from Kurfakan, from Dubai. Abu Dhabi, we are getting there next. That is our aim.
The multicultural country, the multicultural people, to contact our employees, to keep in touch with them and give them services, we have to respect their culture. How did you teach your employees about this multiculture?
Well, to be honest, most of my guys who work for us are, most of them are trained guides from this country. They have done the guide courses. Mm-hmm. We have sent them for classes to, DTCM, where they have a 2-week good course of the culture, of how the Emirati culture works, how people are greeted, treated, respected. So they automatically knew the grooming was from the local government. So out of the 40 people what work for me, apart from the staff in the office, most of them work on the field, on the ground. All of them have a certification of a tour guide. Either they are a safari tour guide or they are a proper city tour guide. So they go for a class. There is a course. So the teaching of the government is automatically inbuilt, and then they learn more on their own because we get a lot of materials given from the government which we can read and understand everything.
Where you find yourself after 6 years?
Well, I wouldn't say 6 years probably, probably the next year or the year after also probably I could be right there on top where I'm looking at. Inshallah, it is all from Allah, it has to come from there. You can plan, you can make plans, but for it to work, your hard work plus the blessing is very important.
To be a father of 2 companies and father for your home and husband, will you have a time for your personal life, Mr. Mohamed?
Well, you need to make time. There's nothing called personal life. You need to make time. You need to know where to put your work, where to put your family. Of course, the family comes after you finish your work, but then the priority changes accordingly. So that's what I told you. I generally go back home 6 times a year. So I balance myself accordingly, that I have time for the kids and wife and for business. So during the busy time, Dubai is seasonal.
Yes.
So October to April, I don't travel. It's like I go maximum 2 days home, 3 days to make them feel that I'm there. But after that, I go for 40 days. I'm out of this place.
And you have a support for your family? They support you in the business?
My wife does.
What you will say to your wife?
Well, the thing is, she's been my better half. She stood by me at all the times of my life. When I was without a job for 9 months, she understood my situation. We tried to hold on to ourselves. We did not think that, life is at the end of the road. She always stood by me, and she was my biggest support.
She believed in you?
She believed in me, but she encouraged me more. She said, this is just a passing time. This phase will go through. Like, we had good times, bad times have come, bad times will finish, and our good times will start. And that support is, something like you could say, if not for her, probably I wouldn't have even moved out of my job to do anything. I would have been still a working guy. But she was my entire back support. She said, you were working so hard for others, do it for yourself, probably you could make it better for you. Today my kids are quite grown up. My son's like 18, my daughter is 16. They speak to me about my business. They understand my business now because they've seen all this and they see me on the phone. And now, whenever I call my daughter especially, she'll ask me, how many people on Safari today, So she's getting there. My son's looking at artificial intelligence as his future, but my daughter's looking at getting into me and trying to see if she can guide me through and put me to retirement and take over.
To be a leader, it's hard or it's easy if you have a plan?
To be a leader is very easy if you understand the people behind you. It's very simple. If you know what you want and if you can make the others understand what they also want from you, you're a good leader. But if you just want to be a leader without them knowing what you want or what they want, it's not a good leader. It's become selfishness. A leader is somebody who actually shares knowledge with people. The more you share, the more you give them the freedom to share. Then the team comes together and then you just need a leader to guide them forward.
Price is almost important for everyone.
Quality.
Financial and the quality important. But we are talking about this new company or the company who coming for a while and they leave. They just want to work and they don't have any plan. They affect your business, Mr.
They affect the business in a very big way. There are these small companies who just come into the market, they drop prices, they make the quick money and then they disappear. They just take, and then you realize that, people are saying, oh, he took my money and left, and the company is closed. But what happens to us is the market is already getting used to these small prices. So when we go back to the clients, they start looking at small prices.
Yes.
But we, by God's grace, have never dropped our price. We talk only on quality of service.
Yes.
We are very clear that you want this, you get this at this price. Nothing comes cheap in the first place. If you want service, you pay for it.
Dubai is a target for everyone in the world. So a newcomer coming for us, so what is your advice for them before they start their own business here?
Well, to anybody who's coming here to make life, I would actually tell them to come with a vision.
Okay.
They need to come with a vision into the country. They need to know what exactly and where exactly they need to reach. Once they know that and they do a self-planning of themselves, how long it takes to go step by step, they draw the plans and then if they follow those plans, your dreams are not too far.
And this country, which starts from Sheikh Zayed age, and you say to me, it's a vision of Sheikh Zayed and Sheikh Rashid, and we are now here with the vision of Sheikh Mohamed. So what we have to say for these leaders and government to keep this country peace and safe and give us all this opportunity?
Well, I would first say thank you for the vision what they have, and I've learned from their vision that anything is possible when you start dreaming of things and then you can get there. To be honest, this country is given a lot of vision for the others in the world. It's not only for them. What they have done is taught a lot of other countries what they can do. Being from a Middle East, they have set an example to the best part of the world, the others, the big names, that we are capable of doing this. you are also capable of doing this. It's just that sleep, dream, wake up and chase it. You will reach.
And work hard.
And work hard, of course. It is there. Hard work is priority. You dream, you wake up and just don't think about it. Chase it. Only then you get to find your dream actually.
And also from our side, we will say to you, thank you very much for spending your time with our team. But before we end this program, I will ask you about Nani certificate and award. Man, can you tell me something about it? The certificate that we get and the awards.
What do you see outside?
Yeah.
Well, I do a charity every year for a small firm called SNF. They're called the Special Needs Children.
Yes.
Most of the kids are special need attention seekers. So what we do is we do a charity event for them every year. It's from us. We don't charge them. We take the kids with us. We have a day out. We have fun. We do our games. We start from breakfast, lunch and entertainment and gifts. It's all from the company. The boys who are with me, my team, they also share the contribution. We hire jokers, we hire musicians, we hire magicians to entertain the kids. It's one day out with them. It's like a family time for us with these special kids. We are bonded with them. We are very closely attached to them and they do not miss a single year. We've been doing it from 2008. So we are 11 years with this. And we also do a couple of charities for others whenever required when they ask. But this SNF has been with us for 11 years and we hope to be with them as long as we are here.
And we hope every businessman he have a same vision that we have it from our side. We will say we are appreciated to be here with this man or businessman who care about personality, about the humanity, who care about the country that's give us this opportunity. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure talking to you guys.